So these however questions cause a lot of problems for students on the SAT, but there's a very straightforward two-step approach that you can take to solving them correctly. The first step is to identify how many independent clauses there are in the sentence containing the blank. So an independent clause, something with a subject and a verb that could stand on its own as a complete sentence. So in this case, Marion didn't make her discoveries alone. That is an independent clause. We're going to skip over that word and then continue. She collaborated with local experts and indigenous people to gather information and share insights. That's an independent clause. So we have two independent clauses. That means we need hard punctuation, semicolon, period, something along those lines. In this case, only A and C include hard punctuation, so we can eliminate B and D. That's our first step. The next step is to determine where the contrast is in terms of the meaning. In other words, is our contrast between this blue portion and that red portion? Or is it perhaps between the blue portion and some preceding portion? So we go back to the previous sentence. This botanist traveled to this colony to study the local plants and animals, and her observations would later be published in a groundbreaking work. So she did this stuff, but she didn't do it alone. Okay, so the contrast here is going to be between the preceding sentence and the first part of the sentence with the blank. So our contrast is between the green part and the blue part. What does that mean? Well, it means we want our transition word, in this case, however, to be on the left side of our hard punctuation mark. So that means we want answer choice A. So answer choice A, she didn't make her discoveries alone, however. Here's why. She collaborated with these other people. So C, which is incorrect, would indicate that we had a contrast between the blue part and the red part. If that isn't clear, what I would say is to think about replacing the semicolon with a period, capitalize accordingly, and read it that way. Okay, that would probably make it clear that the red portion in answer choice C was contrasting with the blue portion. And we don't want that because the red portion is actually supporting the blue portion, which is contrasting with the green portion.